What's going on YouTube? Your boy Backburner here. Gonna do a deck profile on my Bujin build. It's pretty much for the rest of the format. Might change things here and there, but all in all, pretty solid deck for me. A deck I do enjoy using. He has some pretty good matchups, but of course this deck does have its weaknesses, but it also does have a lot of strengths. Gives you a lot of hand advantage and everything, but it can't go into dead draws without Yamato, or at least Mikazuchi. It can be tough to go against opponents, but this deck is pretty solid for me, and with new cards at support, it has gotten better for me, so we're gonna get right into this. Of course, we're gonna run 3 Bujin Yamato, pretty much the main monster you want to get out. He pretty much searches for you. You know, you could add Turtle, you could add Crane, whatever your situation is. Pretty much getting this set up with a Crane and a Turtle in the grave. A Crane in the hand and a Turtle in the grave will be pretty good. So 3 Matos, 3 Bujinchi Crane. Crane is pretty much the honest of the deck. He's at 3. Pretty sure that's gonna change. So pretty much let them attack into you. You let them attack into a Bujin monster, and pretty much you're gonna get its effect off. So we're gonna run 3 Cranes. Now you're gonna run 2 Mikazuchis. Pretty much when Yamato is destroyed, or any Bujin beast warrior type is destroyed, you're gonna special summon Mikazuchi from your hand. This is something Bujin's really needed. It's pretty much another Yamato. It's giving you the searching ability. So if they attack into Mikazuchi, you discard Crane. You would get the search at the end of the turn to search out whatever you want. Something this deck really needed to speed up and not necessarily rely on just Yamato. We're gonna run 2 Turtles. Turtle pretty much protects Bujin monsters from being targeted as long as it's in the grave. And then 2 Bujinji Quillin. Quillin gets rid of problem monsters. Quillin's a good card to have in the grave just in case of anything. Something that if Yamato even uses Crane, it won't be able to get over. But Quillin in the grave is always good, so you can have him at 2. And now for newer Bujin monsters, I'm running 1 Bujinji Yada. I call him Yada, not Crow, because Yada was a better name for me. We're gonna run 1 Crow. Pretty much, it's good to have just in case if you run out of Cranes and you can't draw into Honest. So what it is when a Bujin monster is targeted for an attack, you can negate that attack, and your opponent will take equal to half of the attacking monster's attack points directly to their life points. It does come in handy, but the only flaw of it doesn't occur during the damage step, so that's kind of its flaw, but it is a good card to have. We're gonna run Bujinji Centipede. Centipede is it's a pretty good card. It's a MST in some sort, just in case you want to just make that last final push. He's good to have, and I feel 1 is just enough, to tell you the truth. So we're gonna run, that's for the Bujin build. We're gonna run 2 Veilers to keep with the light and pretty much to get rid of any effects that it's a hand trap. We all know what it does. Bear, I think Bear is fine at 1. Bear gets rid of problem monsters as long as you have Tenki. And most of the time when you use a Tenki search, it will be for Yamato, but in some cases if you have Yamato and Mikazuchi, you go into a Bear. Bear is one of those good cards to have just in case. And Honest, we all know what Honest does. We've all been honest against. It hurts, so I'm gonna run obviously 1 Honest. We're gonna run 3 Power Duality. Obviously, to not go into any dead draws, you would need 3 dualities, especially in this deck since it doesn't necessarily special summon a lot. So we're gonna run 3 dualities. 2 Tenkis, because another way to get Yamato, another way to get a card you would need. Big problem for this deck is the dead draws, obviously, so Tenki. 2 Forbidden Lances to protect. Main point is protecting Yamato to get your plays off. Then we're going to run 2 Kaiser Coliseum to lock down. You can lock it down with just 1 Yamato. And then start the setup and using Kaiser Coliseum, not allowing your opponent to go into any ridiculous amount of plays. Bujin Incarnation is a great card to have if your opponent has stuff and you can't really answer to it. Pretty much, you could special summon and you could go into an Exceed. That's a Bujin monster. Now we're going to run 2 Horn of the Phantom Beast, great for its when the opponent attacks into or you attack into. 2 Vanity's Emptiness, again another lockdown aspect of this deck. When you know your opponent's going to go into a ridiculous amount of ridiculous play, you would just chain Vanity's Emptiness and he's pretty much stopped. You would have to work around it. Then we're going to run 2 Call the Haunted, 2 Chains, 1 Compulse, 1 Solemn, and 1 Bottomless. That's it for the main deck. So we're going to go to the extra deck. We're going to run 2 Bujin Kagasuchi. I probably just murdered that name. Great card just to push. Pretty much mill, and milling in this deck is not that bad if you have established your field. So we're going to run 2 of him. We're going to run 2 Bujin Susanoo. Susanoo is a great card to go into if you just want to clear the field. He is allowed to attack every monster on the field at least once. So it's nasty going against. If you have this, one of the Phantom Beast and Draco Sec on the field, just attack the tokens and attack Draco and you just get all the draw power. Tiger King, pretty great card to have to negate all the abilities and search out Tenki. Omega, since this is a light deck, Omega's a great card to go into just in case if your opponent sets 4 back row, you could go into an Omega, which is a great option. We're going to run 1 Stellar M7 just to go along with the Omega. If Omega runs out of overlay units, you just put M7 over it. 2 Star Leech Paladynamo. Again, another monster. This is a light deck, so it can get over. Any monster will just make its attack 0. And if anything, this card does get destroyed, you would actually get to draw a card. So I'm going to run him at 2 because he is actually a pretty good card to run. We're going to run Maestroke. Maestroke's a beast. I love Maestroke, so we're going to run 1 of him. Then we're going to run Daigusto Emerald. That's a pretty good card to run in this deck, in my opinion. Diamond Dire Wolf, get rid of problem monsters. Cowboy, you all know we love Cowboy. Black Ship, I'm indifferent about this card in this deck, but let me know what you think. And Armada's Keeper of Boundaries. You know, Yamato, you can summon Veiler, Synchro onto this. It keeps with the whole light aspect, and your opponent can't activate anything during the damage step. Which is always good to have in this deck because, you know, back row does hurt, especially cards that don't target Yamato, like Mirror Force and, you know, Torrential Tribute. Those things hurt this deck. So, you know, if you could get a Martis, Keeper of the Boundaries out, it's a great option to have. But yeah, guys, there you have it. Here's some choices I was thinking about: Breakthrough, a second Yada, and another Horn. But I'm pretty happy about this build. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, it might not be the most competitive build you've ever seen, but this deck does work for me, so I want to know you guys' opinions. So comment down below what you think I should add. What do you think I should drop? Is it a good competitive deck? Are you guys going to use it? So please let me know. All feedback is welcome, and stay tuned for more duels with this deck. I'm going to be using this for a little more, and then probably going to go into my Gear Gear deck. But there you have it, YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed my deck profile. It's been your boy Backburner. I'll catch you on the next one.